From third in line for the throne to the front lines of battle, it's Prince Harry as you've rarely seen him. In a candid interview to members of the British press from his Afghanistan army base, where he was wrapping up his second tour of duty. The prince opened up about his time in the war zone, the royal pregnancy, and the notorious photos proving that what happens in Vegas might be seen around the world. Here's ABC's Lama Hassan.
His signature red hair probably blows his cover, but in case you haven't figured it out, that's Captain Harry Wales of 662 Squadron, 3rd Regiment Army Air Corps. Prince Harry to you and me. And he's on a mission in one of the most dangerous war zones in the world, Afghanistan's Helmand province.
This has been my office. It's quite cramped. I'm whatever I am, 6'2". My knees are up against the screens the whole time. I'm not complaining. My helmet, got my American wings that I got given by one of the instructors during the course.
Here, he's just one of the guys.
This is my bed. I don't really make it when I'm down here, which is a joy. That's it, made.
He sleeps where they sleep, eats where they eat.
It's very easy to completely forget about who I am when I'm in the army. I am one of the guys. I don't get treated any differently.
This is the prince's second tour of duty in Afghanistan. In his first deployment, he would go on foot patrols, and he was a forward air controller, calling in airstrikes on enemy positions. It was cut short when his location was leaked to the media, compromising his and his troops' security.
It's time for me to go home, but that was, for me, that hurt, being pulled out at that point, being dragged away from my guys. I think it was all done. It wasn't done in the wrong way, but it was just.
But then duty calls. Captain Wales scrambles to another emergency mission. In between those mad dashes responding to calls to go into combat, there is a lot of waiting around. And some training the unconventional way.
I'm one of those people that loves playing PlayStation and Xbox, so with my thumbs I like to think that I'm probably quite useful. Designed for the younger generation, let's put it that way.
Graduating Top Gun after training at the Naval Air Base in El Centro, California, Harry is now an Apache helicopter co-pilot, a gunner.
When you fire, you still get the cordite smell, which is bizarre. The whole floor vibrates, and when you fire a missile, the whole aircraft shudders a little bit.
He is the man with his finger on the trigger, and he's not afraid to use it.
Take a life to save a life. That's what we sort of revolve around, I suppose. If there's people trying to do bad stuff to our guys, then we'll take them out of the game, I suppose.
While he was out there, Harry marked a few major milestones. His 28th birthday, marred by a Taliban attack on his base. The high-profile prince suddenly became a high-level target.
Obviously, the papers back home will look like, oh, this is all against me. No one really knows yet. The guys dealt with it really well, and it was on my birthday, so it was a bit of a reality check.
And becoming an uncle.
I had a chat to them. I spoke to my brother and her, and both very well and both very happy, obviously.
Harry makes no secret that this is what he was born to do. His love for the military dates back to when he was a young boy.
It's very easy to completely forget about who I am when I'm in the army. Everyone's wearing the same uniform and doing the same kind of thing.
Because he can get away from the prying eyes of the media, he doesn't hide his hatred for the press.
My father always says don't read it. Everyone says don't read it because it's always rubbish. So of course I read it. If there's a story and something's being written about me, I want to know what's being said. But all it does is just upset me and anger me that people can get away with writing the stuff they do. I think it's fairly obvious how far back it goes to when I was very small.
Case in point, his recent caught-on-tape racy romp in Las Vegas that made international headlines. But the prince says he does feel some remorse.
Probably let myself down, let my family down, let other people down, but at the end of the day, I was in a private area, and there should be a certain amount of privacy that one should expect. It was probably a classic example of me probably being too much army and not enough prince, is a simple case of that.
But he doesn't forget his other role, his royal role.
There was sort of three me's. There were, one in the army, one sort of socially, sort of my own private time, and then one sort of with the family and stuff like that. So you know, there is a switch, and I flick it when necessary. And you know, I like to think that it's measured and balanced as the way it is. You know, Army comes first. It is my work at the end of the day.
And his charity work, which is close to his heart.
I got to be careful on any more patronages, because I don't. The last thing that my brother, myself, and also Catherine, last thing we want to do is spread ourselves too thin across the ground. I've got Walking with the Wounded South Pole adventure coming up. Medically, if I can do that, that's perfect, because I'd love to do it.
Charity work that Harry will get to do now that he's out of Afghanistan safe and sound. But just like any other member of the serving army, not before he has some R&R and a well-earned beer. For Nightline, I'm Lama Hassan in London.